would you recommend the book?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Who and for what?
For who and for what? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Would you recommend the book? Okay. Would you recommend the book to someone who's been through a divorce? Because I just did that this morning to a friend. Because she asked me, she said, what are you reading in your book group? I said, oh, it's a great book and I think you should read it. And she texted back, and now I'm thinking, as I'm saying this out loud, maybe that was a really dumb move. I said, it's Heartburn and I think you should read it. And she wrote back, laugh out loud. So after we finish here, I need to make a phone call to my friend Lauren, because maybe I need to apologize, but I think the book has a happy ending in a way.
I think so too. Yeah,
Okay,
I think so.
Okay.
I read the book just prior to our 50th wedding anniversary.
Okay.
I wasn't so sure.
About the 50 or about the end of this? Oh,
Eat both.
uh-oh. All right. I don't want to be involved in any subpoenas. Okay. Leave me out of it. All right. I think it's a happy ending in a way, because she says, okay. Where does it pick up here? Okay, so she's thinking about a song that Mark used to sing in bed at night to her. It's something about Petunia. I sing to thee, even though it's much whatever. And she says, it's really dumb, but every time Mark sang it, I felt secure and loved in a way I had never dreamed possible. I had always meant to write down some of the words because they were so silly and funny and they made me so happy, but I never did. And now I couldn't remember them. I couldn't remember the feeling, but I couldn't really remember the words, which was not the worst way to begin to forget.
A hopeful ending, maybe not a happy ending.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's a better word. It's a hopeful ending, because all of a sudden that very last page is that realization. It's that moment when you're sitting with your therapist and you're like, oh, but wait a minute. Oh, or you're sitting with your friend and you're like, you know what? You're right. Like you have, oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's the moment of rebuilding and beginning that process of rebuilding. And nobody could say that better. I mean, that way she used that song and she said, you know, I'm beginning to forget, which says I'm beginning to move on and build a life that's new and different. It's a new beginning for me, but she's acknowledging the ending, which is such a healthy thing. You know, there are endings in our lives about lots of things. I mean, you know, every day is an ending, you know, but we have difficulty with endings, you know, for a lot of good reasons.
Oh, yeah.
But it made that, it validated that process of ending and beginning. And I think if you had, you know, I mean, I think if you had someone who was going through, a friend who was going through a divorce, hearing that you can have a new beginning and that there is a good, I think a hopeful, as Gloria said, I think it's a hopeful message, you know. So
maybe at a certain stage, not necessarily right at the beginning.
Full disclosure, she's been divorced now for like 5-6 years.
right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It seems to me
a little bit. So
it seems to me that she doesn't really treat them as beginnings and endings, but more as segues.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the theme music for the film is Carly. Look how technical savvy I am here.
Carly Simon.
Carly coming around again.
Oh, okay.
Carly Simon, yeah.
Yeah.
Coming around again. So, you know, it's life.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's coming, you know, she goes back to him, she leaves him, you know, but also, you know, it's resilience.
Yeah.
It's
Married after that?
Excuse me?
Did she get married after that?
Yes.
Yes.
And happy marriage. Happy marriage.
Yes, for 20 years.
Yeah.
For 20 years.
Yeah.
And Could I say something?
Please.
I think we were all impatient for her to realize and recognize that that marriage was over. And she didn't for the longest time. And it took her until we almost lost patience with her to recognize that this man did not love her anymore. And that was the moment at the very end when she finally realizes that it's over. He doesn't love me anymore.
Right.
And we were waiting for that. And at that moment, when she realizes it, we know she can go on because she's strong, and she's extremely strong, and she can survive this. And there's another chapter, because this era where everyone is so promiscuous, it's like everybody's moving from one marriage to the other marriage to, it's like a circle where we hold hands and we change hands with people. And she finally found the one who really loved her and was devoted to her. And she was married to him for another 20 years until her death. So,
again, like Mary McCarthy, didn't that happen? Like the same idea?
Yeah.
A lot of promiscuous stuff.
Yeah. Diana, I called you Mary, which is a great compliment. Diana, you brought up 2 points, and I know we're supposed to be coming around to end, but I don't feel I would do due diligence unless I brought up, this idea of impatience. She is in labor and he comes to her. I don't, what does any woman do? She loves him, and you are so conflicted because he's so good to her. He's being supportive of her, but he just left Thelma. I mean, this impatience. I don't even know what to say being in that position.
Yeah, she uses him for what he's worth.
I think
What's he doing?
Well, helping her with the birth.
I don't see her as using. She's in love with him, and they're having a baby. End of story.
You think?
Yeah, and there he is. He shows up. There's hope there that she can fix this. Oh
my God.
I'm sorry, Phyllis. 50 years.
Me too. 50 years. I read it
for Martha too.
And wait, one more. I'm sorry. It's just such a great book to discuss. How about Thelma, Jonathan, and Mark all going to therapy together?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
right.
too much.
Never mind that. Martha pointed out to me, our favorite part of this book was when she talks about the Jewish princes.
See, that went right over my head. I didn't get it.
Oh my God, that was so
oh yeah.
I didn't get it.
So funny.
That was so
says
funny.
that they come to you and they say, "Where is?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that part. Yeah.
Where's the butter?
Where's the butter?
It is Josh.
To me, see, that makes my skin crawl because it's so stereotypical.
Yeah, you don't have to be Jewish for that part. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know, but that makes it hurt even more. There are parts of the book to me that are dated and don't wear well. And that's one of them. And the other to me.
Oh, no, that's consistent.
I don't agree.
You haven't been married 50 years, darling.
Well, check back in 20.
Okay.
But the other one is what she calls their therapists. There's some really not cool in 2022, how she refers to, is it Ms. Valdez? She calls her a taco?
A frittata.
Frittata, yeah.
Right.
Oh, that is nice.
I'm just so young and sensitive. And
It is, your mind changes.
I'm very, you have to be peace. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. I am a gentle flower. So when I hear,
Yeah. Like I'm a shrinking violet.
you know what I'm saying. Those things make me bristle because they're tropes, they're stereotypes. And regardless if they are, nothing is 100% true, except certain people are really stupid. See the notes below for that list. I'm just kidding. But I don't want to end on that note because I so adored this book. So we cannot, we absolutely cannot. Has anyone seen the film lately?
No.
Well, you have to find the film because at one point it was free on YouTube and I watched it on YouTube. And when she smashes that pie in his face.
But waste a key lime pie. Pooh.
Oh, what a tragedy.
And cue Carly Simon. And you're like, yeah. It really, it doesn't happen often, but it stays pretty true to the book, which is so refreshing. Perhaps that has to do with the fact that someone was involved with writing and directing the film, so that's kind of helpful. But I believe you can find it on Prime. Not sure. I would check it out because in addition to listening to Meryl Streep, of course, you get to see her. And what an amazing actress, right? What an amazing actress.
I love about the pie.
Did everybody see Don't Look Up?
Oh, go ahead, Gloria. What?
Thing I love about the pie is it's not like an impulse. It's like she just figures out the costs and benefits and then throws the pie. I mean,
She's looking at the carpet.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
About it.
I mean, and it's so real because there are times where like, is it really worth throwing the thing? Because now I'm going to have to clean it up. So,
But it was on the linoleum,
Yes.
And it was okay.
And it wasn't her house.
Yeah, and it wasn't her house.
But she still took care that it wasn't on the carpet.
Right.
Yeah. Good friend. Was she with the Seagulls? Was she with the Seagulls when it happened? I can't remember who was at the table with her.
That might be right. I don't remember.
I don't know. Oh, God bless the Seagulls. Anyway, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. Next month, we're going to be reading Flight Behavior.
I'm loving that.
I loved it. I read it a few years ago. It's great. I'm so glad it's on the list.
Oh, good. And now
The best part is I got a new iPad. I bought a Pro, which is much bigger. And suddenly the book went from being 700 pages to 447.
it's all context. It's all
A
context.
miracle.